Hey, and welcome to this video. My name is Nina, and in today's video, we are going to be transforming the museum into an old, ruinous, ancient temple build. So without further ado, let's walk over to the area that we will be working in today. So as you can see, we have this big open space right next to the secret beach. And yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So I'm starting off, and actually not only starting off, I will be terraforming a bunch in this video because this is going to be kind of a sunken museum build, I guess. So I will cut out a lot of the parts where I just terraform the parts, like where I fill in some outlines that I have kind of roughly sketched out with my terraforming tool, if that makes sense. So you will mainly see me create these little outlines of the cliffs that will be there in the end, but you won't see me fill them in for the majority of this build because it would just be way too time consuming, as this is already such a huge build. And another disclaimer, this was very much of a build where I just really went with the flow, and I was actually kind of surprised by it because I did have like a very, very specific picture in mind when I started this, because I saw, again, I feel like it's my main inspiration source, I guess. And I always say, oh, I saw this picture on Pinterest, but it's true. So I saw this picture on Pinterest, and I kind of went off of that, and then it just transformed into what will be there in the end. But this will shift as we go a lot, especially since we are also kind of going to be turning this into a little bit of a simple panel build behind the museum that I just created the little outline of. You can see where I'm planning to place the museum, and then I also want to have two inclines leading down to it, and the inclines will also move a little bit because I initially was gonna place them very similarly to the plaza that we've built, like the park plaza area. So have the inclines be like, I think 3 spaces apart from each other, but I really didn't like that, so I decided to move them later. And then this little thing happened. Like, are you okay, little guy? Like this little bug, I just thought he was so cute. Like, he was just trying to run against the wall, and then I scared him off because I'm a bitch. Sorry. Moving on. Also, sorry again, my voice is still not better. I don't know for how long I will have to keep saying this, but let's just maybe get used to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just my new voice now, you know? Nice, lovely. Anywho, the simple panels, right? So, because that thing shifted a ton, actually, because I was not really sure about the roofline because it cut off very awkwardly, like at the very top, and I really didn't like that when I thought that I finished this build. So I was like, no, I can't post this. Like, if I don't like it, I really can't post it, or I don't want to post it. So after every single little detail that I will sprinkle in, and you might even think that it will be done, like the build will be done. No, it won't be done. I will shift the simple panel build around a lot. Actually, it's not just some tweaking, it's a lot. But I really like how it came out in the end. So whenever I start talking about that, or like building the simple panel stuff, I will actually explain a little bit about how I did it, because I feel like if you were to copy this, which you can absolutely take inspiration and even completely copy the area, I don't care. Tag me in a picture if you want to post it. I would love to see, but you can copy just if you like. If you think it's okay, then you can copy. So I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more easy to understand how I built this. So yeah, but I feel like I'm a bit all over the place with this voiceover again, because we're not even building that. I'm just carving out the cliffs. But what can I talk about while I'm carving out the cliffs? Like, okay, so then you hit the button and it will make a cliff. Yes, you've done it before. I will tell you anyways. That's not how it works, you know, that's a little bit boring. So I just tried to explain all of the little disclaimer thingies of this build, you know, right away. And then poof, just like as if it was magic, the museum appeared. And I very quickly realized that I had to carve out a little bit more of the cliff around it. So you will have to leave, if you were to copy this, you would want to leave one space around the museum, because we are going to place down these custom designs, and then we will cover the cliff edges with simple panels to make it feel like this temple, and like the walls of the temple kind of surrounding the museum, which is like the main temple, I guess. I don't know how temples work. I just I just really wanted to have one on this island, so that's what we did. So you will want to cover the entire cliff edge with simple panels, basically, to just make it feel like a wall and not like a natural cliff, if that makes sense. And then I wasn't sure whether I wanted this to be really enclosed and not even have trees at the bottom, but we will end up putting, I think, a tree to the left and none to the right there, so that it really does feel tucked in and very like tight, kind of. But I felt like I needed some sort of asymmetrical element, so we will be ending up putting a tree on one side down in the little nook that we placed the museum in. But you will see in just a bit. Let me finish covering the cliff edge. And then on top of here, I thought that I, like when I started, this was another aspect that really went through some tweaking and shifting and, you know, trial and error. Because when I started this, I thought that I really wanted it to be very natural, maybe even featuring some waterfalls, but I realized that you wouldn't probably even be able to see it, and I still didn't really like to just have like cliff edges, so I would have wanted the cliff edges that were behind the museum to either be covered in trees or simple panels, which the second option that I just named, I can't word, again, words are hard. But we are gonna go for the simple panels. That's basically what I was trying to say. So we will be covering the upper level in some simple panels as well, but that part will undergo a lot of construction, I can just tell you. It was a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a mess. But I really like how it turned out. So then I just tighten up the space a little bit, if you can say that, as you just saw. So I just brought the cliff in a little bit more to really tuck this museum in and make it not feel like a grander build than it already is, you know? And I also played around with some of the in-game pathing and then layering a little bit of a custom design on top of it, like I did for the Park Plaza again, just to, you know, create some other elements. I was initially gonna put these designs on top of the in-game pathing that I also used for the walls, but those didn't have a transparent pixel. So if you're not very familiar with the whole custom design placement stuff, if you want to place a custom design on top of an in-game pathing and you kind of want the in-game pathing to cut off the edges, like the harsh square edges of the custom design, the custom design will have to have at least one transparent pixel for it to stay inside of the in-game pathing, if that makes sense. So then I just went with this green one, because obviously green is a very big theme and color scheme on this island, so I felt like it would kind of go very well. And we will also be including a lot of these like stone fence pieces, even though you will see me place down a lot more than we will end up using in the end, actually. So yeah, again, a lot of tweaking, and also this waterscaping part, let me know how you feel about it, because I'm still not sure, because I wanted it to, I don't know, I just got this random thought and I was like, oh, maybe it would look cute if we had like this single lane waterfall going in between the single tile of the two staircases, and it just opened up the space a little bit. I don't know why, maybe it doesn't, but I felt like it was it looked very nice. And in the end we will have a little bit of a cardboard bridge leading over it, I guess, because I will then just remove one of the water pieces and put some custom designs over top of it to make it look like a little bit of a handmade bridge, if that makes sense, because I really didn't like the hop, and I wanted you to be able to stand centered with the museum while you look at it if you were to, visit this place and maybe take a picture and something like that. So we will experiment with that a little bit, and please let me know what you think of it, because I think it's kind of cute, but I also think it's kind of weird, and I really would like to get your opinion on it because, again, indecisiveness is my second nature, I guess. And then there's also a lot of tree placement with tree ceilings, because I didn't have any. Like, now I'm at the point where you don't have all the tree sizes that you would need, because when I flattened, I was too lazy to store all of my trees, and I also axed down a couple and sold some. So now we're out of trees, out of stunted trees. I will in a bit, like whenever I decide on the placement of the trees, and I would have placed down the seedlings, I will time travel, and you will see the final tree sitch, I guess. So I later just time travel like day by day to get the different growing stages of the trees to make it, to just give it a little bit more variety. You know me, guys. I just need stunted trees. They are so cute, and you can't deny it. It's adorable, and we love them. We love trees. So then now you can see me do this little cardboard bridge thing that I was talking about. So as you can see, I just removed one of the waterscaping pieces and just placed down some of these cardboard box designs, and then also a newspaper custom design. Now I know that it wouldn't make sense to put like cardboard box and like cardboard and newspaper over top of water, but I just think it looks cute. It doesn't have to make sense, guys. It's just Jesus Christ. All of my voiceovers are always so weird. I bless you for sitting through them. Really, really, you guys. I love you. Okay. So, then I just honestly placed down a bunch more trees, and it will be a lot of tree placing and terraforming, waterscaping, again, shifting, trying out, because I think that all of my builds, like for some of them I have like a picture in mind, for example, such as this one, but none of my builds are pre-built or like scripted or anything, so I do have to go in and try out stuff, and most of the time it won't look that good, and I will have to try again, think of something else, and use a different item, use some different placement of the items. So I also did that for this build. So what you will see me do in a second is we will start covering the back part of the museum with simple panels, and then later you will also see me place down some rock head statues, like these huge rock heads. You will see them in a bit, and initially I was gonna put them and kind of enclose them in kind of like a room, I guess, like a room arrangement with these simple panels, and then put the rock heads inside of them as if they were like kind of holding up the temple, but it just didn't look right, because if you were standing in front of the museum, the like half of the rock head would be kind of covered by the lower simple panels, and it just looked weird. So we will shift them around a little bit. I also tried around these frozen pillars, which I thought would be nice, and like a nice little callback to the abandoned, what did I call it? Ruinous chapel. That it was also kind of part of the overgrown park plaza thing, because we used those with the little chapel build that we did, and I really thought that I liked them in the beginning, but then I felt like it was just still looking very awkward because there was no roof line to the simple panel build. So we will fix that in the end. But then I think I moved on to the front part here, and I'm saying I think because I might even just go back to the back part in just a second. I don't know. I didn't have any thought process with this. I just kind of tried something in one area and then it wasn't working out, so I wanted to take a step back from it, so I went to a different area, and then I just needed to, you know, loosen up a little bit, so I just grabbed a bunch of flowers, placed them down. So it was really just an all over vibe. I was just vibing with this build, you guys, you know. Oh my goodness, yeah, but it's true, I guess. So yeah, see, now we're moving back to the back part here, and I think it's gonna, yeah, we're gonna start experimenting around with the rockhead statues. So I put like 4 tiles of this dirt pattern, I guess it's called a soil flower pattern, I think, and I really like it to be the base of like these statues, because it looks like they are kind of, you know, a bit sunken into the ground, if that makes sense. So I felt like that was a nice little base for the statues, because they do look pretty heavy, I can't lie. And I really like that. And there you could just see the little time skip where all the trees grew in to the different growth stages that I wanted. So how I did that is I just time traveled day by day and just went in and checked which trees I wanted to stay in that certain day's growth stage, and then just stunted them by planting a fruit behind them, or like a fruit tree seedling. And then I went to the next day and did the same thing until I had all the growth stages that I wanted. So yeah, that was kind of time consuming, but I really like how it turned out in the end, and it just gives it a lot more depth, and it just makes it feel even more enclosed and like a dense, foresty, lush area. So yeah, then I went a little bit more into the detailing of this front part, actually. So I played around with a bunch of groups of items. I even started to plant some weeds, because I didn't have some on me in the beginning. Like, who am I not planting weeds? Like, what is this sorcery? I can just repeat that for every video, because I feel like in every video I do stuff that I normally don't do, which you could consider as growth, but it's mainly always just my lack of brain capacity, and then I will do that in the end because I forgot. So yeah, that's also what happened with the weed situation in this one. And then I wanted to carry through the design concept of just having like random groups of items also for this build, but I wanted to keep it very minimal, because I wanted the focus obviously to be on the museum and like the temple feeling. And so you saw me, like, I think like 2 minutes ago or something, you saw me place down this tree stump stuff right here. But then I was like, oh, maybe we can try this statue, because it has like the perfect color for this time of year. So it just goes perfectly with the bushes and stuff. So we did that. And now we are finally moving on to the final concept, I guess, for the roof line and for the actual temple simple panel buildings. So what we're gonna do is we are having, you can also like have a larger cliff behind it, but I didn't have any space left, so we kind of made do, and I think it still turned out very cute. So we just put down the simple panels to cover the cliff, and then we put down a little bit of a stall in front of it with the roof custom design. You could also use the same stone custom design, will also look very cute. And we will also cover the cliffs to the side. You will see in a bit what I mean, so that it just creates, I guess, a softer roof line. You will see what I mean in a bit. So it won't have these harsh squared lines when you stand in front of the museum, because it will, you know, diagonally slowly go down to the sides of the museum like an actual roof would. I don't know if that sentence made any sense.
Nope.
But yeah, and then I also placed down this Zen fencing, which I really liked, because I kind of just tried to make do because I didn't have the space to place it properly, but I really like how it turned out. It just looks like these tiny little towers, and I feel like it just adds a little something, you know. And we did the same thing for the top portion. And yeah, then that was actually finally it for this build. We now have a completed roofline and a completed temple. I then just actually went in and sprinkled in some more finishing touches, and yeah, then that was actually it for this video. So I'm going to leave you now with a montage of the finished product. If you enjoyed this video, I would very much appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel, as I would love to have you here. And yeah, take care of yourself until next time, and bye-bye.